Well, welcome to all you listeners out there. This is Comic Book Central, where comic books come to life. I'm your host, Joe Stuber. Glad to have you back here in the lair for part 2 of my adventure to TerrifiCon. Kick things off. Oh, how else could we have kicked them off? Terrifically last time. That was the landmark 500th episode of Comic Book Central. Oh, never thought I'd reach that landmark, but we did. More guests are set to join us today. What you're going to hear are more of my quick chats as I make my way around the TerrifiCon floor, chatting with celebrities and comic book artists and writers. And in the episodes ahead, I'm going to be bringing you audio from my full Q&A panels. Lots going on. So glad you're here. Let's take a moment to pay a few bills, and I'm going to be right back with part 2 of my adventure at TerrifiCon. Yeah, there were a lot of big pop culture anniversaries this year, and one in particular was a Shell-ebration of epic proportions. It was the 35th anniversary of the feature film Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That film, of course, was based on the 80s comic of the same name from Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Kevin was at the convention as well. I didn't get a chance to chat with him. Every time I was able to make it to the show floor in between those Q&As, his table was way packed with guests. So didn't get a chance to chat with him at the show. Hopefully on a future episode. Love to do an in-depth interview with him. But I was able to score some interviews with the actors featured in the films. First up, Robbie Rist. And Robbie is the voice of Michelangelo in the film series. But some of you out there might recall his early days in Hollywood as a child actor in The Brady Bunch as Cousin Oliver. The Jenks Cousin Oliver. And one of Lindsay Wagner's school students in The Bionic Woman. Yeah, we're celebrating turtle power today, but you know I had to ask about those two pop culture powerhouse TV shows.
I'm going to go way on a limb and guess that you probably get a lot of Cousin Oliver questions, especially from old guys like me. Is that a reasonable assumption?
Well, let's see. How do we approach
and it's
this?
It's okay to call me an old guy.
How do we approach this somewhat? It's becoming less and less every year.
Oh, okay. I'm with you now.
It's, these days, it's a tremendous amount of the anime and, the turtle thing still.
Right.
A Brady thing was brought up a lot, even 10, 15 years ago, but I think at least from Con World, most of the people that were watching that stuff are kind of up and out of it. They're not doing Con World as much.
It gets tougher and tougher to schlep around 3 days for us guys. Trust me.
Right?
You get the fake knees and everything going.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a weekend long thing when you come to one of these things.
At least you got a comfy chair.
I got a comfy chair. I do. And, I spend most of my time standing, talking to people. I mean, really what Con World is story time. I'm here to tell you whatever story you want to hear. And everyone who's here, at least the ones that come up to the tables like this, they have a story about how this thing that means this much to them,
right?
How it came into their lives and how it affected them, and sometimes, you would think it's all light and you were on that TV show and all, but for some of the things that I've been on, old Brady story,
right?
Woman comes up to the table and says, let's preface this by saying you could argue that the Brady Bunch is a cheesy family television show from the 70s that's kind of a 60s throwback, really, right?
Right.
You could say that. But this woman comes up and says, so I was hiking and I broke my back. Doctors told me I would never walk again. And I told the doctors that not only was I going to walk out of here, I was going to walk the 4 miles to my house, and I was going to binge watch every Brady episode as a reward.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that is now out of the realm, if you ask me, of just being a cheesy 70s. It actually inspired someone and made their lives somehow better.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's what I seem to run into a lot doing this. that people have a story to tell about this thing, again, that means so much to them.
Yeah.
And why? And sometimes today there was a guy in a wheelchair. As you know, we finished the transaction. His mom came up to me and just said, when he was a kid, he couldn't walk, and he would put on the Turtle movie and see how long he could stand for.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Wow.
Right? You see what
that takes the next level. That takes the next level.
And also now I'm left going, oh my Lord.
Wait, how do you respond to that? You were ready for turtle question or something, and all of a sudden, life-changing impact.
It can be pretty, doing this job can be pretty profound, and I don't know how many people who sign pictures here fully get that.
Yeah. So as an old dude, I will ask you about an old TV show. Lindsay Wagner was supposed to be here. Unfortunately, I was hoping for kind of a Bionic reunion. Can you talk a little bit about your time on the Bionic Woman TV series?
Yeah, I got to be on the Bionic Woman TV series.
Yeah.
That's what I have to say about it.
Were you a $6 Million Man fan at the time?
Huge. I mean, what 8-7-year-old boy wasn't.
Right. And make the sounds and all.
No. But
it's pretty good. Wow.
Oh no, it's in there.
Okay.
It's definitely in there. And I think I may have seen Love Story and the episode where she dies within I cried a lot in the 2-month period. So huge Lindsay Wagner thing. I totally have a crush on her. I'm 8, whatever, right? But how do you manifest that? Well, in between shots, I just stand next to her director's chair when she's in it, and I'm just like, wow. I'm standing next to Lindsay Wagner everywhere. People are walking by with cables, and they're like, "Don't sit down somewhere." I'm like, standing next to Lindsay Wagner right now. I can't. She made. I still have at my house a little piece of needlepoint because that's how she killed time on the set, and she made me a little piece of needlepoint that I still have.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
There's a really big fan of that.
There's an episode called Claws.
Uh-huh.
You were there with the real lion? Was there any issue at all?
I don't.
Because I don't think you could do that today.
No. Well, they can't, and I like the reason why they can't. They can do it with a CG lion now, I guess.
Right.
But back then, that's a very drugged lion, and now I think about the story, and I'm not cool with it. You know what I mean?
Some things didn't hold up 50 years later. Okay, fair.
Yeah, no, of course. And I think, entertainment, I don't know, this could be part of a discussion about, why everyone hates, in upended commas, woke culture so much.
Yeah.
But in entertainment, they figured out that animal performers were just like people performers, and you should expect out of each species what you would expect out of a human to do if they were a human. There are things you would not have a human do that's lion-like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
Like murder another animal on screen, whatever. Right. So I think entertainment learned a lot in the ensuing years about being respectful, and you don't. The Cannibal Holocaust, which is a movie from the 60s, I believe, has a lot of animal violence in it, and it's not a cool thing to watch because movies are supposed to be fantasy.
Yeah. As an animal lover, I appreciate that too. Yeah. But I'm also a Bionic Woman fan, and I can appreciate having a crush on Lindsay Wagner.
Are you kidding? Of course. No, unbelievable.
35 years of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle legacy here. What's it like for you to be just here with your buddies and be part of this legacy for so many years?
Well, people are still talking about it, which is, 1990, a lot of kids' entertainment has come out since then. And you could probably count on one hand the amount of these movies that people still are talking about. And no diss meant, okay? But there's not a lot of this sort of attention to Spy Kids. And it's a decent enough movie. Right. No, I'm not Robert Rodriguez, talented dude. I'm not by any means saying anything about the art that was made. What I am saying, though, is that the art that was made still has resonance 35 years later to a growing number of people.
It's still reaching new generations.
Exactly. And it's become like Star Wars. It's generational, where more than once at these conventions does some guy walk up and go, yeah, I know, I'm signing the picture or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I'm my kid's 3, and I can't wait 2 more years to show him this movie. And in the story thing that I talk about, I've heard plenty of stories about how this movie, my dad and I didn't get along, but somehow we found common ground, you know. And again, it's for something that they were fairly convinced was going to bomb. No one's probably more surprised than I am that I'm talking to you right now about it.
All these years later. What's next for you, and how can fans follow you?
Oh, God, you know, the regular social media, everything. And, I got a website you can find. Just search my name. You'll find something. There. It'll send you in a direction, which will send you in another one. And because I do a lot of things, so working on a comic book now. I'm working on a bunch of music projects.
Can you tell us about the comic book or not?
Not yet, because I'm still trying to nail down an artist.
But wow. Okay.
Yeah,
well, there's plenty here. There's plenty of artists here.
A couple of them here. You know, maybe I'll discuss the thing with them. Yeah.
Robbie, thank you so much for being here at TerrifiCon, and thank you for joining me on Comic Book Central.
Thank you. Let me know when this goes out so people can hear it.
I will do that.
Right on.
RobbieRist.net. Yeah, that's the website right there. Check it out for the latest and greatest in Robbie's world. Next up at the Turtle Tables, actor Brian Tochi, the voice of Leonardo. You might also know Brian from his work in the Police Academy films, the Revenge of the Nerds films, many, many others. But like Robbie, I got to go back a ways to his younger days and ask about a classic Star Trek episode and some classic Saturday morning television.
Early on, iconic role in such an amazing TV series, And the Children Shall Lead from Star Trek. I mean, can you talk? I talked with Pamela and Ferdin about filming that episode.
I love Pam.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about her too in another part. But can you talk about your memories of just even filming that? Season 3, were you a fan even coming into the show?
Well, it was amazing. I mean, I just started acting as a little kid.
How old were you in the episode?
I was around 5-ish years old. Yeah. And so I remember going to the set and looking at this big old soundstage with all the lights and all the craziness going on that a soundstage, you know, and you're on the Starship Enterprise, which is kind of an amazing thing. But what I was amazed about is when you're on the set, it was really kind of a remedial kind of set. I mean, the consoles were not like these lights behind it and these computer screens. Of course, they didn't have computers back then. At least when we were filming, they did in space.
Right.
But they had like little wood knobs painted red and blue, and
they destroyed the illusion.
Yeah, I mean, and it was just kind of very simple.
Yeah.
But it was still amazing. You know, it's like a playground for a kid.
Yeah.
But I do remember everybody was so kind to us, and Bill Shatner. I mean, he let me sit on his lap. You know, I mean, he was really, really kind. Everybody.
That's what Pamela said. He was almost kind of like a dad figure and just helping out everybody. So
yes,
you got to reunite with her, and one of my favorite TV series of all time, Space Academy. What can you tell us about that show and working with not only Pamela but the great Jonathan Harris? I mean, probably larger than life, I'm guessing.
He was. It was an amazing thing. The first time I met Jonathan is that when you do a TV series, you have to go to the doctor to get approved for insurance and stuff, right? Well, we all are in the doctor's office, and I could not remember his name, and he comes walking in.
You knew him from Lost in Space, though, right?
Yes, I did, but I just couldn't.
Blanked.
Blanked out. And I go, "Hi, I'm Brian. We're going to be working together. I'd like to meet you. What was your name again?" He goes, "Oh, please. Oh, dear boy, please." And I go, "It's Jonathan." And I go, "Of course. Yes, I know that. I knew that." Anyway, so we get to the set, and Jonathan used to have all these great stories because he was a stage actor as well. And I can give you one, which this will give you kind of the color, the way you would do it. He was at a big party with all the biggest stars from movies and stage, all at this one dinner in this one room. Candle lights. They have waiters behind them serving the food, and he happened to be sitting next to a famous actress named Tallulah Bankhead. And they're all around, like, I guess, Cary Grant, all these big stars. And then they're sitting down, and there's this foul smell that came across the table. And it was, oh, God, Tallulah, did you fart? And she stands up, and she looks at him, she goes, well, of course I did, darling. You don't think I smell like that all the time, do you? Those are the kind of stories Jonathan would tell.
That is the perfect Jonathan Harris story.
Perfect.
And on the series, you got your own action figure, too. I mean,
yes.
That had to be, I mean, I know it was only 15 episodes, but it had to be a blast.
I was the first time anybody ever made it. I have different, figurines of me over the years, but that was the very first one. So it's near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
And I still have a couple of the dolls. The hands are falling off, sadly. they use different material nowadays for longevity.
Right.
But it was so great working with Jonathan. He would give us Tootsie Rolls, Tootsie Pops rather, and
Pamela, getting to work with
and Pamela. I mean, we were friends since we were little kids.
Yeah.
And it was just so fun to hang out with her. I mean, I love her to this day. I've not seen her for a while, but she is the sweetest person.
35 years, Turtle legacy. You're here with everybody. What does it mean to you to be a part of this and to see this fan love coming in just even 3 decades plus later?
I can't believe it. I mean, as actors, you do a gig and you move on to other things. This took on a life of its own that none of us expected. I mean, what was so amazing about this is that this was passed on by every single major studio in Hollywood. When it was owned, the IP was owned by Golden Harvest, an Asian-based company. They could not find a domestic partner. They went to everybody, and they all were turned down until this small little company at the time, known for only the Freddy movies, New Line Cinema, they said, well, we'll take a chance with it. Well, they took a chance with it, and lo and behold, it became, the first weekend was the highest grossing independent film in the history of film. And by the end of it, by the end of the run, it turned out to become the highest grossing, the most successful independent film in all of film history. And to be a part of that was an amazing, so fortunate to be a part of that. And it's lasted, as you say, 35 years, it's a 35-year anniversary, generations. And I meet
little kids coming up too.
Kids coming up.
We just saw it.
Whose parents and even grandparents had, passed this concept down. And I'll tell you, the first movie, it was an amazing thing. Theoretically, you think, oh, here's some people in turtle suits doing a movie. It could have gone south real easy and real fast. But with the magic of Jim Henson and the director Steve Barron, who kept it closer to Kevin Peters' vision of the comics, I think that combination really helped to lay that foundation.
Oh, Kevin Eastman's...
Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird.
Peter Laird, right.
Yeah, their idea that they put down in the comic books.
Right.
Steve Barron, the director, kind of kept that feel.
Brought it to life.
He brought it to life. He didn't dumb it down or kidify it.
Right.
And I think that's what really allowed it to propel to the heights that it hit.
What's next for you, and how can fans follow you?
It's funny. I have zero social media, believe it or not. Zero.
Might be healthy.
Yeah. And it's funny because I had retired from acting because I had these businesses and such. However, and I keep getting asked to do movies. However, I was recently asked to do another one that I am considering doing.
Okay.
And it was a friend of mine. I did a movie called Revenge of the Nerds. I did the Revenge of the Nerds movies.
Very much so, yes.
And one of the actors in that is doing a film, and he asked me to be in the film. So because we're all close, I think I'll do it.
We'll look forward to that, Brian. Enjoy the weekend. Thanks for joining us at TerrifiCon and on Comic Book Central.
Oh, we're having a great time here at TerrifiCon. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Also at TerrifiCon for the 35th anniversary celebration, actor and martial artist Ernie Reyes Jr., Donatello stuntman in the series. He played another character, Kino, in the second film. So definitely some turtle talk headed your way, but Man, there are some other big action flicks I had to ask Ernie about, including Red Sonja and Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
I want to go back a little bit. I know you're here for Turtles, 35 years of the Turtle legacy. I got to go back and ask you about a couple of projects. Red Sonja, can you talk a little bit about, I mean, that is such a cult classic film, but Arnold, Brigitte Nielsen, I mean, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite filmmaking experiences. You know, we shot in Italy, and I got to go horseback riding in the countryside every day. We're doing sword fights. I was lifting weights with Arnold after work every day with me and my dad. It was
you did
just
a workout routine with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
We used to lift weights every day after work. Yeah, pretty amazing.
That's good to have on the resume.
Yeah, him and Franco Colombo, and then Paul Smith, who played like my, right-hand guy, a legendary actor, and then of course the great Richard Fleischer. It was an amazing. I mean, it was like a kid's dream to be able to work on that movie,
Yeah.
So it was, pre-CGI, so all the, everything was built out, all the castles were real. And it was an amazing work experience. I really loved that movie for the filmmaking process.
What was Brigitte like to work with?
She was awesome. She was really awesome. I think she was like 19, 20 years old at
I was going to say, that was one of their first roles, wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But she was a joy.
Yeah.
We had a great time. We had a great relationship.
Us sci-fi geeks and comic book fans, we always love to talk about Gil Gerard and Buck Rogers, and it was always like, we love Buck Rogers, and then he had a follow-up, Sidekicks. It was this team. Could you talk a little bit? I know it was short-lived, but it was like, that was such an interesting concept.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And what was Gil like?
Gil was awesome. So the first movie I ever did was called The Last Dragon. That was produced by Motown. And so The Last Electric Night, which was the pilot for the television show Sidekicks, was a co-production between Motown and Disney. And it was awesome. I mean, I loved it. I love Gil. He's a great guy. And, at that time, mid-'80s, as an Asian guy, being in the lead of a TV series is like unheard of on network television. So that show really holds a special place in my heart.
I've got to ask you about your time. Are you the warrior who actually gets the blow dart blown back? I'm like, it's such an iconic scene, and it's like, wait a minute, he did that? What was it like to work with Harrison Ford and Shia on that set? And have you got a chance to sneak over and see Karen Allen yet?
No, I haven't seen her, but that's actually one of my other filmmaking experiences that's like a highlight of my career.
Yeah.
When I
Were you an Indiana Jones fan?
Oh yeah, big time. But yeah, of course I saw those movies in the theater, Steven Spielberg, grew up a huge fan of all of his movies, so we were on set. The set was incredible. It was wind, lightning. I mean, it was amazing, and I had an opportunity to choreograph that fight sequence as well. And after every take, Steven was high up in the rafters on the stage, and I'd look up to him, and he'd give me a thumbs up, and I was like, man, this is like a dream come true.
What did you think when you saw it in the theaters? And it's one of the most amazing moments of the film, and it's all yours.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was an amazing moment, and being able to work with Harrison was just, I mean, it's just all like dream come true type.
Did you know it was going to come out that well? Like,
no,
was going to be that, or did you just think, oh,
yeah,
he's fighting a bunch of guys, and I'm part of it?
Yeah, I had no idea. When I saw it, I was pretty much floored. I was like, man, this is amazing.
Yeah. You got the close-up.
Yeah, that's it. I got the close-up. Yeah.
35 years of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the legacy. You're here with you stunts on the film, and what all was your role in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe, and what's it like to be part of such nearly 4-decade legacy right now?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So in the first film, it was the first time that they were bringing over Hong Kong stuntmen to work on an American production. One of the guys hurt his back, and so that's when I stepped in. I did all the choreography and stunts for the character Donatello, and the producers were so happy with the work that I did on the first movie. They took me out of the set, out of the suit, and made me a co-star in the second film. So, I mean, being part of the Ninja Turtles and actually being able to play one of the turtles in the first movie and then have another character. So essentially, I was able to play two characters in the Ninja Turtle universe. Is just like something is multi-generational now. So now I'm meeting the kids who grew up on the original film, and they've introduced their kids to the movie. So this thing has just got legs beyond belief.
That's what all your fellow actors are saying. It's reaching new generations. It holds up. It stands the test of time. And you get to talk to little kids now, and they're watching it.
That's right, man. It's really like a blessing.
Yeah. Well, Ernie, thanks so much for joining me on Comic Book Central. Enjoy TerrifiCon this weekend. Have a blast. We enjoy having all of you guys here.
Thank you. Appreciate having me.
So much fun talking Turtles and more with the gents. The fans truly loved having them there as well. Okay, we're going to go from Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. We're going to go all the way back to Raiders of the Lost Ark. Let's go back to the beginning of the series. I caught up with Emmy-winning puppeteer, producer, and director Bill Diamond. Bill had a terrific display of items from his Hollywood Movie Museum right outside the panel room where I was moderating Q&As. Everything from the Cha-Cha Point idol in Raiders of the Lost Ark to our favorite friends from Sesame Street to E.T. himself. I'm not kidding you. I had just wrapped a Q&A with E.T.'s Henry Thomas. By the way, stay tuned to Comic Book Central for that chat. And lo and behold, Bill had an E.T. display there. We got to take some unforgettable photos with Henry and with E.T., the original E.T. It was an original E.T. Only at TerrifiCon, folks. After that, I got to chat with Bill about his career and some of the cool stuff that fans get to see when he tours. Okay, now I know this is an audio podcast, but I'm going to get the photo album on the Facebook page ASAP. Trust me, I'm going through the photos right now. I'm going to get those up there. So if you're hearing this and they're not there yet, they're going to be there very soon. So you can see what we're referencing. I did my best to describe it here on the audio version, so hopefully I'm able to bring that to life for you all out there just listening. But over on the Comic Book Central YouTube channel, the plan is to incorporate those photos into the video version of this episode as well. So hopefully between all of that, you'll get to see some of the things that we're talking about. All right, that's enough jibber jabber. Without further ado, let's head to Tinseltown and some of the coolest pop culture props around with Bill Diamond.
Okay, this is probably one of the most interesting displays that I've seen here. So again, this is for an audio podcast, but if folks want to go on to my Facebook page and my social medias, I can grab a couple shots. But can you tell the folks what you have here on display here at TerrifiCon? Because there is a ton of stuff here.
Well, we do a lot of different cons around the country, and a lot of times we bring a lot of the productions that we were involved with over the years. A lot of the characters that are here are all the original ones, and from stuff like from the Muppet Show in the early years all the way up to what we bring from the Witch's Dungeon Movie Museum, E.T., or the Temple of Doom, or Indiana Jones, the Idol. But I also worked with Jim Henson in the early years and many other films, all the way up to Terrifier 3.
Okay, because when you say Sesame Street, who do we actually have visiting
from
us
Sesame
here
Street, we have Oscar over there.
And the garbage can. When you say these are actually used
yes,
in the show.
Yes.
These are replicas.
There are a lot of... no, they're not replicas.
Wow.
They're like the Munchins and Dr. Rocks from Dr. Rock's Dinosaur Adventure from the 90s. I did that show and created that show for Fox. You know, as far as back there are Fraggles from Fraggle Rock that Jim did, and Salacious Crumb from over there from Jedi,
Return of the Jedi,
which was Mark Dotson. Mark did his voice.
How did that hold up? Because you see a lot of these things and you think they over, what was that, 40 years? I mean,
some
they
of
did
them
42
hold up
years.
really well, some don't.
What do you do to preserve them? And how did you get them, first of all?
Well, I worked on all the shows.
Okay.
As far as these
Salacious
guys,
Crumb, how do you get a...
I built Salacious.
You built him?
Yeah, I built that one.
Oh, my goodness. How many were there total?
There were 3 or 4. So I built that one for Salacious when Mark Dotson was touring all the voices, because he did all the voices. And that was screen used for a lot of promotional stuff.
Okay.
So all these are screen used on different things.
Man.
So the collection of there can show you the different movies and TV shows that I have done.
Okay, one of the big things, the reason I'm looking at this now is because I just got out of moderating Henry Thomas's Q&A. Henry Thomas, obviously from ET. There's this huge display. Tell us about what this is here. And there's a museum that's involved.
Well,
give us some of the background as to
what it is. The Witch's Dungeon Movie Museum is something that Cortland Hull started almost 60 years ago. I'm the president of the museum. But when I tour and sign at a lot of the cons, it's all the characters like Little Shop of Horrors and all the ones that I have built in my career.
Okay.
Outside of, I'm a puppeteer, I'm a designer, I'm a builder. I produce a lot of TV shows and films, all the way up to Terrifier 3.
Okay. And then E.T., tell the
E.T.,
folks what you got here.
Well, we brought E.T. and the bike. He is the last remaining E.T. from the movie.
This is a legit
This
E.T.
is a long shot.
that was in the film.
Bike. Right.
That's unreal. And I'm told the basket that he's sitting in. So basically you have...
The basket and E.T. are the original long shot pieces that were in the film. Most E.T.s are gone. This one has been well taken care of in the museum. It's a different process than the other ETs that were lighter foam latex.
Yeah.
This one put up because it was used in the movie. It was literally on the bike. It was toured. It was under the sun. So it was built a little different, but it has survived since 1982.
It looks brand new. And for folks, if you just give you a visual of it, it's the background is the sky, there's the moon, and there's a bike. It's not the original bike, but it's
original bike.
You got the original basket, the original E.T., and for a brief moment of time, you had the original Elliot. Henry Thomas walked over here and he was taking pictures, and a lot of that money that was generated from goes to the museum to sort of preserve, to make sure these are preserved.
That's right.
For
Just
future
like
generations.
The idol over there is the original one from Indiana Jones.
We'll get to that in 1 second, but I'm still hanging on E.T. because how did you get an E.T.?
Well, between Cortland and many of the people that we know in the industry, we've been friends with him, and they know we took care of a lot of this stuff.
So it's like some of us trade baseball cards or comic books. You guys are trading iconic.
Yeah, well, because way back then, this stuff would have. It's not like it is now where people buy and sell it.
Right.
It could have wound up in the garbage.
Oh yeah.
Now this one they scanned. When they did the ride, when Spielberg wanted to do the ride.
Oh, the Disney thing. They just when they scanned it.
When they Universal did the ride.
Yeah.
So there's not that many original pieces that are available, but we've collected them over the years and preserved them.
Okay, now let's talk Indiana Jones. You've got one of the original screen-used Chachapoyan idols from Raiders of the Lost Ark. What else do we got back there?
Well, then, as far as that, you got the original Fraggles over there. There's 2 Fraggles over there from the original show.
Okay.
And you have many other characters. A lot of times when they see us, we have up to 50 characters in some of these shows.
How did you get the idol from Raiders? Did you steal it like Belloc? Did you rip it off?
Yes, we did. We ran
through the
tumble and we grabbed it. No, there's a production company out there that had done all the work on that idol.
Yeah.
And when the movie was done, it went to the museum.
Wow. And then you've got Emmys up here.
Chris Gill. Well, those are mine.
These are all, you got your Emmy Awards on display. You've got all the awards on display. How do people see these things for themselves? Where are you? Where can they go? Where are you going to be? And how do they find out more?
If they want to go to the Witch's Dungeon Movie Museum, it's in Plainville, Connecticut.
Okay.
It's run by a man named Cortland Hull. His uncle was Henry Hull, who played the Werewolf of London in 1935.
Oh, wow.
His aunt was Josephine Hull, which was in Harvey with Jimmy Stewart.
Wow, one of my favorites.
And also Arsenic and Old Lace. So
that's some Hollywood legitimacy there.
Yeah. So there's that horror family.
Wow.
Sarah Karloff goes there, Victoria Price. Vincent Price was very involved with the museum.
Okay. So that's in Connecticut. So there's all kinds of things. What's the website or where can they go to find that out?
You can go to preservehollywood.org. It's open Thursday to Sunday. You can set up an appointment to see it. We have Vincent Price's original outfit that he gave to the museum from House of Wax.
Oh, my God.
And then the rest of the stuff
that
goes
traveling
on tour.
Okay, so this stuff goes on tour.
When I'm signing, all the characters go on tour with me, whether it's Little Shop of Horrors or Muppets or pieces from many other things.
Okay.
But we also bring stuff from the museum, depending on if there's an actor here, to help raise money from.
So how many stops do you make a year? How often is the tour going on? And what's next? What's coming up for you?
Well, I'm doing a number of movies next year, but I will be in Colorado next weekend.
Okay.
So a lot of this tour's there. We'll be in Rhode Island. We'll be in the area. And we always bring the big sets, or we bring elements from, like in Canada, we'll do Terrifier pop-ups because we have all the original props that I built at the for that movie.
There's so much greatness here, and this is just a small little
scratch.
This is just a sampling, but
this
when
is a scratch. So we change them out. A lot of times, if we have more space,
Yeah.
Sometimes we have bigger space. We'll have up to 50 characters and a lot of original props. Of course, Terrifier is the hottest thing now, so we're bringing a lot of elements from that.
What's your favorite piece of everything that's in the museum?
Oh, gee, I the fact that we have
I know,
this
it's like
great
naming
history,
your favorite child. I get it.
It's not, and if you ask the characters, they'll never tell you because they think it's them.
It's got to be Oscar, right? You got to say it's
yeah, well,
he'll get grouchy anyway. Oh my goodness! I'm telling you what, Bill, this was fantastic. Thanks for being part of TerrifiCon. Looking forward to this. We'll mention where people can go, and continued success.
Yeah, we love being here at TerrifiCon, and what's so exciting about it is this is where we get to bring this stuff to the fans.
Yeah. It's amazing, and if you can, I would say, if you can see all the stuff in person, highly recommend it.
And then just look for whatever show we're at, and come and visit with us. And I'm usually there, and so is the staff, and we can show you whatever we are touring at that time.
Fantastic. Thanks.
You're welcome.
PreserveHollywood.org and BillDiamondProductions.net. That's where you go to find out more. Check out the photo album on Facebook. I'm working to get that up as fast as I can. Hopefully, if you're listening to this, it's already up there. Or the video version on my YouTube channel. Fun stuff, man. That was enjoyable. So glad Mitch brought that to TerrifiCon this year. All right, as I mentioned on the last episode, one of the things that sets TerrifiCon apart from other pop culture shows is the sheer amount of comic book creators that show up year after year after year. One in particular I was really excited to chat with is writer, artist, animator Kyle Baker. Kyle was the artist on the 2003 7-issue Marvel series Truth, Red, White, and Black, written by Robert Morales. When the first issue hit comic book shelves, it shocked fans. It made history. Oh my goodness. A black Captain America, a government cover-up behind the super soldier serum. Yeah, some readers were outraged before they ever turned a page, but those who did found a story of heroism, injustice, and identity brought vividly to life by Kyle Baker. 2 decades later, the character was brought to life by actor Carl Lumbly in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Captain America Brave New World. Carl was at TerrifiCon as well. My Q&A with him is coming soon, I promise. But I wanted to talk with Kyle about his experience with the source material, Truth. And I got exactly that. Check it out.
I gotta say, I just got out of a panel with Carl Lumbly, and we did get to talk about Isaiah Bradley. Have you had a chance to meet him yet while you're here?
Very nice. He's my new best friend.
How did that go? I mean, did he pop over to you? Did you pop over to his table? Like, how did that? Or have you met him before?
Phil Lamar. He said, "You got to meet this guy. You got to meet my buddy."
Okay, because Phil
from cartoons. We used to do cartoons together.
Oh, okay. How far back do you go with Phil then?
Warner Brothers. When was Static Shock?
Oh, 90. Oh, you put me on the spot. 90. I want to say 96, like mid late 90. Yeah.
He was working on that, and I was working on Bugs Bunny, but it's in the same building.
What was it like to see your character? Co-created the character. Like, what was it like to see him brought to life by Carl?
I haven't seen it.
No way.
I haven't seen the TV show.
How is that possible?
It's because
nobody sent it to you, or
no, it's not that. I got an invite to the premiere.
Right.
But it was +1, and I got 4 kids.
Oh no!
And I was not having that conversation. There's no way. You know what I mean? Like,
you couldn't pull 4 extra tickets.
Well, at first, what happened? No, because and that was the other thing. This was right when Rob Liefeld was having his meltdown.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I was already on the fence, right? I'm like, well, because it's all the way in California.
Yeah.
They may or may not owe me money.
Okay.
even though we're
You know it's on TV right now. Like, you can watch it. Like, you can watch it.
Well, but again, here's the issue, though.
Yeah.
So that was the reason I didn't do that, was because
Right.
it was +1. But the other problem is I have 3 girls and a boy.
Okay.
And so, and a significant other. So I rarely get to see boy entertainment.
Okay.
Because I don't get we have a vote.
Right.
And my son doesn't live with us. He's grown.
Okay.
So I never get to see boy. Like, I haven't seen Mission Impossible. I had to sneak out and see Sinners.
Okay.
I seen Barbie. I seen Minecraft. I seen anything.
I can't believe you've seen Barbie, but you haven't seen.
I saw The Substance.
All right.
That kind of thing.
Fair enough. I get it. How did the project itself, Truth, come about? Can you give us a little background origin?
I did it as a favor to my friend Bob Morales, the writer. I, as a rule, don't like to work for Marvel. They just don't have good contracts. They're not a good company, and they've only gotten worse since Disney bought them.
Right.
Disney's the worst. I mean, to give you perspective, they didn't pay the guy that drew Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
They're not going to pay you.
Right.
Scarlett Johansson, the star of the biggest movie of all time, literally the biggest movie of all time, had to sue to get her money. If the biggest star in the world has to sue, they're not going to pay you.
Right.
Again, I'm not complaining, whatever. They are what they are.
Right.
But that's why I wouldn't.
It's a machine. It's a machine.
Right, and I just wouldn't. So, as a rule, I don't like to work for them.
Right.
But my friend Bob and I had a relationship. We had worked on magazine stuff, and we'd done so much stuff together. And because he was a writer who couldn't draw. So he always needed an artist. So he would get these great jobs, and then he'd call me up. And so we would be in the magazines and newspapers. And we did all sorts of good stuff, but never did comics together. But he called me up and said, I'm doing a Captain America thing. And I said, well, for you, I guess I'll do it. You're my friend. And then he told me the idea, and I said, that's a pretty good idea. Yeah. So I said, all right, I'll break my rule of not working for Marvel. And so I did it. I was working at Looney Tunes, Warner Brothers at the time, working on the Brendan
What
Fraser.
a completely different set of, using your brain cell, different parts of your brain there.
Oh, yeah, I do that a lot and get confused a lot.
Yeah.
Which I heard Ernie Cologne had the same problem. You forget what you're working on, you change your style in the middle of it. But
it's a good thing Bugs Bunny didn't get put into Truth. That could be an ultimate crossover, maybe.
It was just funny at the time. So I would spend all day at Warner Brothers from 9 to 5 doing Looney Tunes, and then I would go home, tuck the kids in, feed them, tuck in, and then come back to the office and do Captain America on Warner Brothers money.
Oh, man.
I was using all their equipment to do this Disney job.
Man. So, when the final product came out and you saw how people reacted to it,
The book?
yeah, what did you think about the final product?
I liked it. I was doing what I'm not very involved in like the comic book world.
Yeah.
Like I don't do a lot of DC and Marvel stuff anymore, and so I'd been doing at the time just advertising stuff, music videos, and Bob and I had worked for like Vibe magazine and stuff. We were doing a lot of hip hop stuff, really, and Spin magazine and Rolling Stone, like that kind of thing.
Right.
And again, at the time, I was getting a lot of work because I was working in a style that was popular at the time. Like it was trendy.
Right.
Like I was doing like a graffiti, hip hoppy kind of style because it was 1990. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it was very popular, and everybody was hiring us. So I didn't really know much about Marvel Comics, what they were doing at the time.
Okay.
So I just knew Bob. I was like, oh well, I'll do this thing that everybody likes. And also I was kind of trying to make it look a little like the Dick Tracy job I had done because people liked the Dick Tracy job. But when the book actually came out and I had to go to the store to buy it because Marvel doesn't send you free books.
Are you kidding me?
Marvel doesn't send you free books.
Wow.
Or they don't send me free books. Their theory is that you're going to sell it and they need that dollar.
Okay.
So they won't send you free books. And so I had to go to the store to get my copy of. And it was when I saw it on the shelf that I realized that it didn't look like the other books. Like, because again, at the time I was drawing in a contemporary style. So when you saw it on MTV, it didn't look different from everything on MTV. Right. You're like, oh yeah, or I was doing album covers like rap record, and you're like, yeah, this looks like all the other rap records. Yeah, you know what I mean? It was. Yeah. But when it was there, and I was like, oh, everybody's drawing in a different style now. Yeah, I haven't done a Marvel comic in 10 or 20 years. And so I kind of knew that people weren't going to like it. And then, sure enough, people really didn't like it, and then I forgot about it. You know, I was surprised that this thing ended up like getting turned into a TV show or movie or something, because at the time it didn't do well. It failed.
Okay.
You know, and here's how you know it failed, because before the launch, all the publicity mentioned. If you looked at all the publicity, you would imagine that Axel Alonso had created all of it, and Joe Quesada, and that like me and Bob hadn't worked on it at all. But 2 weeks after it came out, they were giving us full credit.
Oh wow. Okay. Are you happy with how it came out, though?
Again, I mean, I had no expectations. Yeah. I thought, personally, like, I still look at the drawings, and I think those drawings are good.
Yeah.
But I also get why that Marvel audience doesn't. That's not what they go for. Like,
I was going to say, you think it was too much for them?
It was just.
Oh, you're good.
They're not. There are a couple of things. One is that they're not into like that abstract type of like. I don't know how it is now, again, because I'm very uninvolved. But like at the time, I would say like a more realistic photographic, like John Cassidy would be kind of what was popular at the time. You know, a more photographic looking type of stuff, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And I was going very abstract, and again, I was looking at Jack Kirby. Like my main influence on that particular story was Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
I was giving everybody the big square fingers and doing Kirby poses, and everybody's screaming and got their legs apart and stuff. So I look at it and I'm like, I think the drawing is really good. I think the color work is probably some of my favorite color work I've ever done. And like I say, it just didn't work with that audience. Again, I was doing TV shows and stuff like that, and everybody else was happy with it.
Well, it's big now, so that's the good. It's finding an audience.
Another thing is that, and I might get in trouble for saying this, and things might have changed now, that it is the only audience, comic books is like the only audience where they kind of, I'm trying to put it a good way. Every other audience, like I got 4 kids, young kids, teenage, 20. Everyone's trying to be trendy, right? They like what other people like. They buy the clothes. My girl wears the hair the way the other people wear the hair. Only in comics are they like defiantly uncool. Like that's part of, like nobody else refers to themselves as a geek or a nerd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like part of the package. Like, so I just don't know how to. Like I know how to try to be cool.
I
like
refer
I say,
to myself
when
as
I
a
was
geek
doing
and a
rap
nerd.
records, I'm like, what's cool?
Yeah.
And we were like, like when I was doing the rap records, I was still like in my 30s or something. I was like a little old, and I was doing. I don't know if you know KRS-One. You ever heard of him? He was a rapper in the 90s. Anyway, he was like a top 40 rapper in the 90s.
Right.
And we were both getting older. And we would like have to look up like what are the kids wearing now, and so I would work very hard to like, because when I was a kid, I could tell that Archie was being done by old men.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, the shoes are wrong and the guitar doesn't look like, that's not how the Archies would dress if it was 1980. Yeah.
I got to ask you about something that I thought is a really cool thing. Speaking of cool thing, did you work on the original Howard the Duck movie adaptation for? How did that? I mean, did you ever see the movie? How did that come into you?
Yeah, I did see that. Well, with that one, I was a kid. I don't even know how old I was. I might have still been in high school.
1986, so whatever.
I graduated in 83.
Yeah.
So I guess I was in college.
Yeah.
And movie adaptations, I don't know how it is now, but at the time, movie adaptations were the worst job in the world.
Why?
Well, because they are very secretive. You're dealing with a lot of corporate people. But when I was at Marvel, it got really bad after Marvel accidentally leaked the second Star Wars movie comic. I think it's the second one where Darth Vader tells Luke Skywalker he's his father.
Empire.
That comic book came out a week before the movie by mistake. Yep. And then it was front page news. Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. And Lucas was so mad about that. Like, you couldn't get any anything for Indiana Jones. Like they're still doing Indiana Jones comic book. So Howard Duck was a Lucasfilm thing. So they wouldn't give us a script.
Oh, wow.
We had to write our own ending.
Oh, wow.
They wouldn't show us what the monster looked like. At the ending, the villain is completely different because we're like, can we see the monster? And they're like, no, you can't see the monster. You can't. And so Dick Tracy, which is... Wait, were you asking about Dick Tracy?
You mentioned about Dick Tracy earlier, so...
You were talking about Howard the Duck, right? So, so it was the kind of job nobody wanted, and I was the new guy.
Right.
That's how you end up on
and you end up with Dick Tracy anyway, too. So what's next? What's next on your drawing table?
I'm finishing up Deathcathlon. This is the third issue. It's a series, adventure series. And then I'm doing a second Tardigrade. Those are the two series I've been doing.
Okay.
It's a monster comic called Tardigrade, which is, if you know what tardigrades are?
No.
Okay, tardigrade is a microscopic organism that is indestructible. They're these little creatures with 8 legs.
Okay.
You can look it up, and heat won't kill them, cold won't kill them. They can, like if you dehydrate them, like you take them water, they will hibernate for hundreds of thousands of years. You could shoot them into space, and they will not die. Like they'll just hibernate, but they're indestructible, like a nuclear radiation. So it's a Godzilla type story where this is a giant tardigrade, and it's indestructible.
Okay.
And the tagline is nothing on Earth can kill it. Killing it is their job.
Is there a website you have that we can follow you and find out more?
Yes, it's Kyle. It's Vivera, V as in Victor, IVERRA .TV, and the name came from it's Latin for comic, Latin for cartoon.
We will go there and we'll follow you everywhere. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
And of course, if you Google Kyle Baker.
Okay, Static Shock was 2000. I did say late 90s in there, so I was pretty close. I'm just a couple years off. But yeah, and a shocking reaction about his experience on Truth. I got to be honest, I wasn't expecting that. But that is what you get here on Comic Book Central. Truth. Yeah, there you go. Look, I like the series. I really do. I think it's pretty cool. But hey, I wasn't on the inside of it like Kyle was. But I do appreciate him taking the time to talk about it. And I will be talking about the character more with Carl Lumley on an upcoming episode. Stay tuned for that. That is headed your way. And oh, by the way, did you like my Howard the Duck reference? I like Howard the Duck. I like the movie. I like the adaptation. It's the 40th anniversary of the film next year. Mitch Halleck, if you're listening, I'm just saying. Oh, my goodness. All right, closing out this episode with a big welcome back to Comic Book Central with my guest from episode 345, writer, artist, editor, the co-creator of Ben 10, Joe Kelly. Joe dropped by a while back for an in-depth chat about his career. So glad to catch up with him in person at TerrifiCon. Let's check in once again with Joe Kelly.
Last time we spoke was 2020. We were all hunkered down in our homes. We were trying to figure out things. Catch us up on everything you've been doing and I think there's some Spider-Man in your life right now. Is that?
Yeah, I mean it's easier. I'll jump to where we currently are.
Yes.
So, I'm writing Amazing Spider-Man as of April of this year. So kicked off a new run, a new number one, which I'm not always a fan of, but that's what they do.
Right.
And it's been great. I'm working with Pepe Larraz and John Romita Jr. Also some other guest stars as the show, the comic goes on.
Yeah.
That's been awesome. Doing some video game work with Man of Action and some on my own.
I wanted to ask you about with Man of Action because we talked a lot about that, things that have been going on. So anything you can tell us about, or are these things that you can't reveal just yet, which are always our favorite things because we know something good's around the corner, but...
Yeah, so one of the games was announced. I'm one of the writers and a consultant on a Deadpool VR game. So Deadpool does VR, or that's not its actual title, but it's Deadpool VR. It's on the Meta system. Neil Patrick Harris is Deadpool. It's like totally crazy. It's really fun. It's been great. And then Man of Action is working with a group in Sweden. It's a brand new game, brand new IP. That'll get announced soon, but I literally don't even know what its title is yet.
Right.
Yeah.
So going into work for Spider-Man, did they give you any direction as to what they wanted to do with the character, or was it pretty much left up to you to figure out where to go with it?
No, it's very much left up to me. Yeah, they were. I had done an arc called The 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, and that was supposed to be a bridge between Zeb Wells and whoever came next. And then I went to a Marvel retreat, and I realized they didn't have the new writer yet. So I sort of said, hey, what do you think? Because of the animation work that we do at Man of Action, very often I'm not available for an ongoing. I'm just not. There are guys like Mark Guggenheim who write like from 5 in the morning till.
But don't sleep.
Oh my God! Like incredible.
Right.
I'm not that guy.
Okay.
So, so this time the schedule was a little bit better, and I was like, hey, let me throw my hat in the ring. So they said yes, and yeah, it's really been. What do you want to do? And there's always guardrails, but. They've been totally reasonable, so it's been.
What did you want to bring to the character? Because I mean, as you mentioned, there's like so many number ones. It's a number one. It comes out. We're going to take it in a new direction. We're going to do this. We're going to kill off Mary Jane, or kill off the wedding, or kill off the marriage, or we're going to do this. How do you approach a character with so much history? And what did you want to bring into the world of Spider-Man?
For me, it's always like, what's the DNA first, right? So. Really looking at Peter as a human, right? I love just the heart of Peter Parker. No matter, and sometimes that's expressed by like what bad things happen to him that he endures, right? But other times it's just watching him be good. Yeah. And so in this first arc, we got to see, one of the things I wanted to explore was that we've never looked at him as in middle school. Like we know what he's like in high school.
Okay.
And we've seen him as like a baby.
Right.
But I feel like that time in development is really interesting. So we did a lot of that in the first arc. And, canonically, Peter doesn't drink, for example. And I have a story, which we had a lot of talks about, the first and only time he ever had a beer.
Wow.
Basically. And it's all related to characters.
You think in decades of history something would have happened, but you introduced something new.
Yeah, and it was all meant to explore this kid who was afraid of losing what he had. It's like he lost his parents when he was very young, and now he's got these, Aunt May and Uncle Ben, and what if they were going to leave me? What happens? And to see how that manifested itself. That was a great opportunity. So I'm bringing, that's in some ways like a back to basics approach in a lot of ways, but then also we just had this character Hellgate introduced. Hellgate just beat the hell out of him for 2 issues straight, and now
a lot of splash pages are there.
a lot of big hitting. JR Jr. at his best, just like rock.
It was like the death of Superman or something.
Yeah, like it's big like that, and. And now
I think I'm staring at. Am I staring at something or on your table? Is that what I'm looking at?
No, that one's Hobgoblin. So that's Pepe Larraz.
It's upside down to me. So okay, go ahead.
And but now this Hellgate, the consequences of what comes after that are going to be quite dramatic. And then we'll go into like Crazyland for a little while, So I like this roller coaster of like here's the grounded, and then here's the wild. I think the thing that I would say that I most wanted to bring in was just like I read a lot of manga. So it's like, how do you take some of this really like breakneck storytelling, but also these expansive fights and world building, and sort of try that in an American comic? We're not doing Spider-Man the manga, but it's just taking those elements and how do we pepper it in for a different feel.
You mentioned your schedule; it's so busy, but can we expect you to be on the book for a little while? I mean,
that's the goal. Yeah,
okay,
I mean,
how much can we expect, maybe?
Well,
realistically,
at a minimum, I want to be on for 1,000. So issue 1,000 is 36 issues in for me.
And then it goes from issue 1, and then they revert back to. They always do that. 1,000 is going to sneak in at some point.
Yeah, I mean, we have issue 975, which is my issue 11.
Okay.
Comes out in a month.
It gives you a headache trying to keep it all straight. But at least, so a good, what you said, like maybe a 3...
I mean, 36 issues gets me to 1,000, and that's only a year and a half in bi-weekly time.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not too bad.
Twice a month. Yeah, so I would love to go past that. So if I could do, I don't know, I have an arbitrary number in my head of 75 issues because that's 3 years.
Right.
But
we hope so.
I hope. Yeah, that would be amazing, Okay.
Website, where do we want to send people to find out more about Man of Action, everything you've got going on?
Yeah, so manofaction.tv is the company website. I'm that Joe Kelly on all the socials, and I have a newsletter on Button Down. It's also that Joe Kelly.
Perfect, Joe. Thank you for coming back to Comic Book Center. I appreciate you coming back.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And with that, I'm going to put a bow on this episode. 2 parts in, much more TerrifiCon to come. My Q&As with E.T.'s Henry Thomas. Lost's Jeremy Davies. The OG Flash John Wesley Shipp returns to Comic Book Central. My Justice League panel with Carl Lumley and Phil Lamar. And Sons of Anarchy. What? Sons of Anarchy. Yes. I'm going to work in some comic booky goodness into Sons of Anarchy. How am I going to do it? You got to tune in to find out. I'm going to be chatting with Titus Welliver and Mitch Pileggi. Those episodes are headed your way. But I'm going to take a brief break from my adventure at TerrifiCon on the very next episode so I can bring you... Oh, are you ready for this? Just when you thought it was safe to go back to the concert hall, it is my Jaws in Concert special. Jaws, 50th anniversary of the world's first summer blockbuster, with the Columbus Symphony Orchestra playing live to film. That is taking place Friday, November 7th, right here in my backyard, Columbus, Ohio, at the Ohio Theater. I'm going to sit down with the conductor of the symphony, Stuart Chavitz. I'm going to preview a Back to the Future, the musical event. It's the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future. This is an episode you don't want to miss. Get your tickets now if you're anywhere near the Columbus area. Jaws in Concert special. Next time around, we're going to need a bigger podcast. Until next time, keep on being terrific, keep safe, keep reading those comics, and thanks for joining me here in the lair. Comic Book Central, where comic books come to life. All original content on this podcast is the intellectual property of Comic Book Central. All the content and names are registered trademarks and copyrights of the respective holders.